So we're going to make some window pods for, well, starting for that window over there. Excuse my jumper on the table. But yeah, so we're going to make a window pod for that. We're going to fit some IKEA hopval blinds. I think they're called hopval anyway. But what I've done is I've cut the plywood out to size, and I've just drawn a line on the corner, which you can see my amazing tool for drawing corners, which I've already checked against the profile of the van, and it actually is the same size. So I'll get this one drawn on and cut out, and then we need to sort out what the inside measurement is, and then cut out a hole for that, and then wrap it in carpet and fit all the internal stuff. But anyway, we'll get on with this bit first, and I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, so as you can see now that's all cut out, and what I've done is I took the measurement from basically the viewable window from the side, which is kind of, we need as much as we can that way, but I've kind of kept it quite deep to cover the workings of the blind and stuff at the top and the bottom, and then again just use the plate to follow that nice curve round. So I'll get that cut out, and then we'll be back. Okay, so that's that cut to shape. Fits in there nicely. Let's come down. It looks like it's really low, but it's not when you get level with it, so it should be fine. I'll be okay. Just going to make the internals on it now and fit the blind, and then carpet it. Well, carpet it, then fit the blind, but make the internals first. Right, back in a bit. Right, so birds are singing, fresh morning, nice day, nice blue sky, not a cloud in sight. Right, so what I've done is I've set my saw gauge to, I don't know if you can see there, 7 centimeters, because that's the gap between the back of the window pod and the wall of the van. Slightly undersized because I don't want to be having to scribe it exactly to the van, because there's no need for that. It doesn't need to be that way. What I'm going to do is I'm going to rip this floorboarding down to 7 centimeters. It's basically 15mm tongue groove pine, so we'll get that cut down, and we'll use that to make a frame around the back of the window. What I'm going to try and do is use that and some cheap aluminium angle from Tool Station, try and make it so that we're not using the plastic conduit I've seen in other videos, and then we might be able to adjust that angle iron a little bit. But either way, we'll get on with this. Angle aluminium, so angle iron, Jesus, that would weigh more than the van. Right, so we'll get this done, and I'll be back in a bit. Right, as you can see, these are the clips that IKEA provide with the blind, and they stick too far off the blind for our purposes, so that makes them practically useless. So we're going to have to come up with another way of securing the blind to the frame. So we'll work on that one, see what I can come up with. I think I might just end up screwing through this plastic cap here at the end. It looks to be fairly substantial, so we'll give it a go with that. I know with the sliding door one, it's going to have to be trimmed down because it's too big, so that involves unhooking that or getting rid of that little rivet and then replacing that with a screw. But we'll have a go and see what we can cut down when I get round to that one, but that'll be a different video, I would think. Right, let's get this off and let's start and get this frame knocked together. Right, quick pro tip time. I want to cut these two pieces of wood the same size, so what I've done is I've got 2 clamps. They're very cheap, but honestly, if you're doing stuff on your own, absolutely saves you a rake of time and chew on messing about, or hassle or grief, whatever colloquial phrase you work with. More bother than it's worth not having them. Anyway, I'll get these cut. Okay, so I'll test fitted up to there with the 2 side pieces of wood, just so I know where I'm at. Clamp them on. I'm going to use general purpose 4x40 wood screws, which is general purpose screws, to screw this together. So we'll get on with that, and then we'll screw the top and the bottom on and make a box, and then it's nice and strong. There we go. Okay, so this is what we've got now. This is all screwed to the fascia pod part of it, or the face plate of it. and that's nicely, that should now, we'll do this bit on camera, see if it's going to fit. It should just slightly slide like that. There we go. And that should, if all things are equal, be right all the way down to the bottom, which it is. Great. Right, so we still need to cut a little scoop out of there to allow for the pull down part of the blind to fit into as you pull it down. But we'll get that sorted. Alright, I'll test fit and then put a few more screws from the face plate to this back frame, and then we'll get it, the blind fitted. No, we'll carpet it, then we'll fit the blind. But we need to fit the aluminium angle, which I'm going to fit. Now that needs to be put in below the level of this part of the blind, or the top end of the blind up there, so you can actually put the blind in and then pull it down, otherwise you won't be able to get the blind in for that. But once it's inside that, you know, I dare say you can, we'll try and give it about a centimetre extra, so it should sort of slide into it. We'll get there, we'll give it a go, see what happens. Alright, so a bit of a schoolboy error, hadn't taken account for the thickness of the wood, so it's too tight to fit. So basically I'm going to cut those two bits off the end and screw it on the inside, and that should get us away with it, but we'll have a go and see what happens. It's all experimental, this stuff. Nobody tells you how to do this. It's either YouTube or guesswork. Guesswork this morning then. Okay, so as you can see, it took a bit of modification. Ended up with 40mm wide buttons on the back of the board rather than 70mm. Now what I've done now is I've cut the angle, and I'm just, you see, just using my countersunk bit on the drill just to put a countersink in there, so that, because I made it as tight as I can so it doesn't like bounce around and rattle and stuff like that. I don't want the screws sort of stopping the blind going up and down or fouling it at all, so countersink them, and then the screw heads will go right in and they'll be out the way, be as flat as we can get them. So there we have it, covered in carpet, all stretched around, screwed into the van using just what's called basically drywall screws, those ones, 50mm, straight in the wall. There we go, pull it down, there you are, there's your blind shut. Put done, and it looks okay. Didn't show a video putting the carpet on, because to be fair, there's a million one videos online of people putting stretch carpet onto bits of vans and stuff like that. Main thing is showed you the frame, and basically the way I screwed the blind in was to use the two screws, as I said, into the tops of the blinds that way around. But yeah, quite happy with that. Nice and secure. Looks the part. There we go. Quite happy with that.